Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alina Popescu, a writer, wannabe artist and cover designer, and this is where I document my creative lifestyle. I thought I'd start a new tradition at the end of this roller coaster of a year, and by that I mean doing a self-portrait to both reminisce over the year that's coming to an end and to make note of where I am in my art journey. The photo I'm referencing was taken in early December and fully captures the mood and style of this year. Masks all the way, yo! I've worn a lot of them, I've bought a lot of them, and I even made one myself, which was fun. I plan to do more. Masks can be fun and fashionable and, cool, just something to brighten your day, and that helped me a lot. I hope it helped other people too. While you watch this self-portrait come to life, let me tell you a bit about how this year went for me. And if you'd like to see more of my artwork and my daily life, maybe follow me on Instagram. I post there a lot of my attempts at digital and traditional drawings, as well as snippets of my day-to-day adventures. On to the year in review part of the video then. 2020 has been, well, it's been bad, I won't lie, but it's been awesome in many ways too. I think the biggest lesson we've all learned this year is how to look at the year to come. It's with great fear that we all hold our collective breaths and hope 2021 doesn't ask anyone to hold its beer. Leaving jokes aside, I hope we're all able to find connections, happiness, and unique moments regardless of how bad of a shit show we're experiencing currently. Personally, 2020 wasn't all that bad at first. I had this huge revelation and started a long and very complicated journey of figuring out my psyche and my very probable ADHD, which initially came with huge disappointments, but I was sort of managing still. Then February hit and, well, it all went to hell. I won't get into the details of it, but let's just say the after effects of my extremely poor health and subsequent broken leg of 2018 finally caught up with me. Worse than it did in 2019 when I was still having surgeries and recovering. So yeah, pretty bad. The next month brought more stress, and the two incidents that caused this weren't resolved for a while. I worked hard to stay afloat, kept working on my books and do everything I could to solve all my problems. I am lucky to have close friends and family who supported me through all of this, and I'm equally lucky I could remember to focus on problem solving when I wasn't freaking out, so sometimes. And then there was the newly developed and really serious allergies I started having the moment spring hit. Yes, right in the middle of the pandemic. So no proper exams, like visits to the doctor and tests and checkups, as most experts in allergies are in Bucharest, not in Ploiești where I live. It's manageable with over-the-counter allergy pills, but coughing and sniffling because of plants and the atmosphere in general, yeah, not great in our current world. Hope I didn't scare too many people, that's all I have to say. Things got partially resolved by the end of August, with one matter dragging on for another couple of months, but when my book released at the end of August, that was the 6th Owl Investigations mystery, I finally had a moment to breathe and relax a little. What followed was an instant drop in productivity. I was burnt out in the worst way, and other than freelance work that I just couldn't drop because it was under a contract, I pretty much dropped everything. The level of stress I tried to deal with this year has been the worst I've ever experienced. The global pandemic happened on top of all of that. To be perfectly honest, at times it barely even registered because of all the other stress factors. It's no secret and really no surprise that ever since September started, I haven't been writing much or at all. I had an under 5K November, so that should tell you everything you need to know. My cover design work slowed down to an almost complete halt, and even art-wise, the number of hours I put into it into my drawing and, art practice in general, it decreased significantly. I started working out more though, and that's helped with a lot of other issues. I found a great healthcare professional team, and so did my partner, which is something that's a lot more difficult than it should be. We've both struggled to find the right experts and specialists and, just doctors who care in general. But we managed to, and we're now better at dealing with our health issues. These small accomplishments, like working out more and better managing my health, both physically and psychologically, these are just the tip of the iceberg. See, despite how shitty it was, 2020 has also been an amazing year. So I'd like to take a little time to review all the awesome parts that I experienced in no particular order, just the way I'm remembering them. And by the end of it, I hope you realize that there were a lot of good things happening, maybe more than the bad things, and I will try to focus on them as much as they deserve, because as humans, we tend to be more drawn to the negative that has a bigger impact. It seems to be more prominent when it really shouldn't be, so let's get into it. Mike and I got engaged this year, which was awesome. We were aiming for a spring wedding in 2021, but decided to postpone it by at least a year. Kind of hard to get all our friends together given the current situation. Honestly, the when of us getting married doesn't matter much, so we're still super thrilled and excited about it. Given the extra planning time we've gotten, we're trying to make something more interesting out of our honeymoon, or honey fortnight, or honey week, whatever it turns out to be. It will be amazing anyway if we succeed in what we're planning currently. I'm not going to disclose it yet, but when we have a better picture of it, I will let you know what we're planning to do. Mike and I also managed to move in together. It was another plan we had to initially delay, but it finally happened this summer. We love the area where we live currently. There are far more fun options for RS's walk. It's overall great. I also published a few books this year, 7 individual titles and 1 box set, plus a short story in my first ever charity anthology. One of those 7 books was also my first ever co-written work with the amazing A.L. Bates, better known on my channel as being my editor under the name Lindsay, or Lindsay Fitzpatrick when I say her full name. I had plans to release more books this year, but well, they'll all be released next year, so it's not that bad. I've done worse. Yes, I do still feel bad about all those delays and not writing, but I had to accept I needed a longer break. I needed time to recover and rebuild the routine that works for me. This is the 4th month of this year where I didn't have super crazy plans. It was an interesting change of pace and I kind of loved it. Yeah, you'll get a January video announcing insane plans again. What did you expect? It wasn't going to last, was it? But I did enjoy this relaxed, going at my own pace kind of a break. I had my first BookBub featured deal this year, which got my Owl Investigations mystery box set to the #1 Amazon best-selling spot, and the subsequent orange badge in the LGBT mystery category. It was insanely cool and I still can't believe that happened. I'm super grateful and thrilled to be getting more readers for this LGBT mystery series, which, by the way, somehow is my best-selling series ever. I got a new and much improved computer this year. Of course, I saved for a long time to get it, but then it did happen, and the difference is amazing. I feel it mostly when I work with digital art or photo editing, or especially video editing. It's not super slow anymore. It's not frustrating because it blocks my computer for hours and all I can do is stare at it as it's slowly processing or rendering a video. It's also just cool overall because I love gadgets of all kinds, and I just couldn't help geeking out over this new treasure of mine a lot. Despite all the hurdles and all the waiting and all the replacing I had to do to get the final system to work, I guess it was more rewarding because of that. I drew and painted a lot this year, mostly digitally, which was great because I made more use of my drawing tablet and the software I have, and I learned a lot. I also gave in and got my first art mystery box subscription with upgrade, and that's a bit of a surprise and, you know, a little gift to myself every month. I bought and used gouache for the first time. This was a birthday present to myself, and while I don't have enough time to play with gouache right now, I don't regret this purchase at all. Not for a second. I'll make more time later. I discovered that no matter what, I want to tell stories, which was a big breakthrough. The how of it might change, or better said, it might expand in the future. I want to create visual narratives as well. I'm actually dying to do it. I don't exactly have the skills right now, but I'm working on it. So webcomics, art for games, and visual novels, maybe writing and illustrating my own light novels in the future. All of that is part of my long-term plans. In 2020, I took a long break and then came back to YouTube. Through this break, I realized I didn't want to give up making videos and sharing them with you. I'm still a little inconsistent, but we're slowly getting there. I managed to have a full week off and go visit family during that time. Mike and I went up the mountains a couple of times, and I made progress conquering the new and annoying fear of heights and activities that might lead to injuries, so that was another breakthrough for that 1 week holiday. And this fear, yeah, that's still the aftermath of that broken leg thing. It's still sending ripples, but it's okay, I'm dealing with it, and apparently it's going to pass at some point. Another big thing was realizing I need to do things in ways that work for me. It might not be the smart way or the recommended way, but it's better than forcing myself to do it differently and not doing anything in the end. It's why I merged my art channel into this one. It's why I stopped wondering whether I should get more pen names rather than writing too many genres under the same one. It's why I stopped trying to use methods, systems, and techniques that don't really work for me. I started learning Japanese more seriously this year. I've had previous attempts that were abandoned, so we shouldn't mention them. It's been a little over 5 months since I've started, and I'm loving it. I went for something that isn't the most immediately rewarding method, but I think I made the right choice. Right now, I've had an uninterrupted streak of 79 days of Japanese practice. I'm aiming at getting that to 90 days first, and then maybe 100, and ultimately 180. It's what I do every morning while drinking my coffee, so that's helped a lot with building the habit. And if you're wondering why the 180 is important, it's because at that point I'll have over 6 months of studying Japanese, and I'm thinking of adding another language at that point. If you want to take a guess of what that language will be, please feel free to do so in the comments. I'm super thankful and happy that I've managed to accept myself more this year. This is like the biggest thing that happened in 2020. Figuring out why my brain worked differently than others helped. Getting the right support system in place helped a lot as well. It's not all sorted out or figured out in any way, but it will slowly get closer to where it needs to be. I'm extremely lucky to have amazing people in my life. Everyone I love, everyone I work with, everyone who inspires me. I wouldn't have survived this year without them. Oh, I almost didn't mention my espresso machine. That was one of the coolest things I got this year. Absolutely love it. I'm still a coffee addict, as you can tell. And that kind of wraps it up. I'm sure I'm forgetting a million amazing things that happened in 2020. I started a lot of new things, I gave up on others, but overall, I feel like I've learned a lot this year and that I've made progress in so many unexpected ways that it's almost dizzying at this point. Do I think 2021 will be much better? Am I going to take the world by storm? Will it once again start well and blow in my face? I really can't say, and it doesn't matter. I honestly don't care at the end of the day. I think I'm better equipped at dealing with stuff right now. That's the only important thing to me. If I can deal with whatever the new year brings without crumbling, then I have to thank 2020 for helping me build the strength and skills to do so. I do have plans, some of them crazy as I've mentioned earlier, but if something happens and I have to change them or alter my routine or delay stuff, I won't be upset about it. I'll do what I do best. Coffee, create, repeat, problem solve, laugh, strengthen my body and spirit, cry and let go, and remain forever positive and hopeful. Well, hopefully. I hope 2020 hasn't treated you too badly. I hope you can still smile and think of memories you'll treasure from this year, and I hope to see you here again next year. I wish you all health, happiness, and strength. With those three on your side, you'll be able to get over whatever 2021 brings on. Much love, and let's make great memories next year as well. Bye for now.